So, up in the Lido for the late finishing breakfast types. Very busy. It's after 10, people are still piling. It was a big night last night, and the ladyship had a cocktail and a couple of glasses of wine, a little bit of dancing, a little bit of piano bar, all part of the fun. And I managed to lose everything I'd filmed in the first couple of days. So this is what happens when you get a new camera. So we'll go up to the top levels and start again. The seas are getting a little fuller as we approach New Zealand. Another day or two at sea before we hit Wellington. But we're moving along rather nicely down to 37 degrees south. So we're further south than where we started in Tassie. And the weather's not too bad really. 17 to 22 today, something like that. Not too bad at all. So, let's hit the road. So this is the stern with the Terra Australis way off the back end there. And a little bit of a roll happening as the seas pile up against New Zealand, having come all the way from South Africa this way to the starboard side. See, we're registered out of Panama. And this deck sort of splits and drops and then comes back up again without too much trouble. I know we can stay on this level and stay undercover. I suspect at some stage we'll have some weather. But so far it's been alright. A lot of cloud cover, as you can see. Doing alright. That noise you can hear is the massive air conditioning system for this place. A little bit of a water feature there for the kids. All the kids at heart. Carry on. Constantly cleaning. Almost COVID procedures. I've seen walls being washed. Up there you got your water slides. That's the thing you're into. As it turns out I'm not, so I'll give that a miss. But the radars and whatnot for navigation at the pointy end, or as we call it, the bow. Diving back inside. I think these doors are automatic, yep. And in we come. And around, and we shall head downhill. Hairdressers and spa in there, not something I'm interested in. Down to level 10, I believe, but I could be in error. No, deck 10, which is basically the smoking area at the very back. This is the front end. So, got these glass fronted lifts, or we can go by foot down the stairs if I can find them where we were. Heading towards the stern on level 10 with another self-opening door. Woohoo! No, it's not. And down. There's all kinds of self-entertainment, masses down there. Watching of all things Bridgeton, which is nice quiet space up here. People are piling into jet tubs and whatnot. Bit of a A couple of disability groups on board, but I'm not at work at the moment, so I'm not bothering. Coming up the aft side of this enclosed area, there's places for people to rest and look at the scenery, which will be important, I think, when we go through Fjordland, but not that much of a view at the moment, just ocean, constantly on the move, doing stuff, always looking busy. I don't know what it is people do most of the time, but there you go. And this is the well-populated smoking area, despite all those years of advertising. But here we go, through the smoking area, and we go back in and drop down to level 9. Surprisingly, another set of stairs. We got 14,000 steps in yesterday, 16 the day before, even though we lost all the footage, half the fun of the game, with a new camera. This gets us back to where we were, and having an apple juice to start with. Seafood options if you want to pay. I've just closed the breakfast buffet, so that'll be restocked for lunch. Horrible coffee, but it's free, and it's still coffee, so we still drink it. Lots of spaces to sit and observe and sit quietly, which is where I'll come back to do the editing, I suspect. Apart from the coffee being on 24 hours a day, there's another spot there where you can get your beverages. More food through there for brekkie. The thing that's really big for the kids is the ice cream machines, which run 24/7. So we move towards the bow. There's places where you can pay a little bit extra for pizzas and burgers and all kinds of things. And there's a bit of a swimming pool here. The good thing about water is it'll always try to find level. So while it feels level walking, you can see we're not. You can see there's a bit of a rock up. And there's Bridgerton, for those that really don't have an interest in what we're doing. But there you go. Never really done the English class system thing yourself. Kids can swim here. Free safety vests just in case, and adults. And we'll go forward. And this area leads through to those glass-fronted lifts, which keep you moving and give you a view. Might have a look over the edge. It's a bit of a drop. Something I'm not interested in seeing, but I'll show you. Hey. Lots of entertainment and whatnot down there. Keep going with level 9. Find the front end's got lots of staterooms, or cabins as they used to be called in the olden days. And we'll go from level 9, which is as far forward as we can go, because we're not in those staterooms there. But down we come. Now levels 8, 7 and 6 are just cabins. So we'll just keep dropping down to level 6. We'll give you a tour of our cabin when we get there. Okay, so we've timed this well, except we're a good way forward. You can see there's a little bit that way, but equally miles that way. We're down this way, and I'll show you what they call a stateroom, what we would call a cabin. and head towards our number. Still got the roll of the ship under the feet, but nothing too serious. And here we are at 6432, and in we come. You can see Annie's collecting the towel animals, good sized mirrors, little telly if you wanted to watch something, bit of a balcony over here, not overly large, but large enough for the two of us to sit out there if we needed to. And you can see the ocean rolling. Coming back inside, you've got the king size bed, really comfortable, pillows aren't too bad. A lounge if you really wanted to stretch out, and then we'll go to the head. That will help. Got a shower, all the bits and pieces you need, shampoo and body wash included, nice mirror for doing hair and whatnot, and of course the toilet. Now this you gotta see. And here, so it's set up so you can't be sitting on it when you flush. Probably the best design decision I've seen in a long time, because it has some back pressure there. And that's our cabin, has been for a little while, 4 days so far, another 6 to go. It's quite comfortable, quite roomy, all things considered, and just enough. And we can fit all our stuff in. We've got wardrobes and whatnot behind me. There you go, with all our gear. Hanging space, and of course life jackets, more hanging space, and there's some kitties' life jackets at the back of all the clothing if you happen to have a kitty with you. So all in all, comfortable wandering back to the forward end of level 5 when we get there. The promenade deck, no less. There's the auditorium at the pointy end. They're in the middle of a Q&A with the staff, or the management rather. We'll move back along level 5 on the port side. There's a duty free where her ladyship picked up some peanut butter flavoured whiskey of all things. Okay. Not being a drinker myself, and never having drunk whiskey with any sort of pleasure when I was a drinker, it's not something of interest, but her ladyship loves it. And of course, if you really needed to, you could come and play the plate shops and whatnot, just knickknacks and higher end prices along past the pokies. Lots of people sitting around relaxing, recovering from last evening's festivities perhaps. There's a bar there, cost you a bit extra to buy there, unless you got a drinks package, which ensures you have to stay drunk the whole time to get your money's worth. A lolly shop, cherry on top, juice and coffee, the more allegedly healthy end of the coffee market. Lots of people just swanning about. And whoops, there's another coffee shop here, more your traditional sort with pastries and whatnot, and a queue. And as I say, the coffee, the free coffee's a bit shite. There's an arcade in there, if you're so inclined. The Alchemy Bar where Annie had her cocktail last night. One of her favourite coffee liqueurs. I call it a Robert Boyle. Through just behind those doors is the piano bar. which was alright last night. Got to join in, sing some old-fashioned stuff. We get to this end, auditorium there for lectures and whatnot. Whoa. And a restaurant of an evening. We'll keep going and drop down to 4. Lots of battery and lots of space on the SD card, so let's keep rolling. And it is getting warmer the further down we go. That's the restaurant we go to for dinner of an evening. So that's why we've got the Red Frog Bar where they play music way too loud for people to think. And there's some sort of dance lesson going on. We're doing our cha-cha lessons there, so I'll give that a miss. Interesting view of the lifeboats out there. Hopefully we won't need that heady smell of furniture polish about. They say they keep the place spotless. There's some artworks that are available in the art gallery. There's some sort of auction on, but in there in the boardroom, which is an hilarious name. And they've got some history of Roman art by the look of it. Keep going. These are the forward lifts, and there's a Black Pearl restaurant, which is another way you can eat. I think this one you can cough up a few bob and go extra, but the food itself is not too bad in the standard fare. Now, dropping down to number 3, swinging around. Another level of that restaurant. It's one of those ones that's extra. So we'll go from the pointy end, come back up a level. Can't get through down lower, so we'll go this way. It is quite warm this far down into the bowels of the ship. And we've had to come back up to level 5 to go forward, because between aft and forward there's the galley on levels 3 and 4. So we've got some travel data here. You can see we're down at 37 degrees south, just under 38. Longitude, we're a fair way east of the Greenwich Meridian, travelling at 27 k's an hour or 14 knots. And that's where we are in the Tasman Sea, heading towards sunny New Zealand. Back up on level 5, they have the air conditioning working, which is nice. It was getting quite warm down the bottom there. And you can see there's the entertainment area. And on level 4, there's thousands of photographers on this place, maybe thousands is an exaggeration, but they're always taking photos. Must cost a fortune in photo paper, but there you go. So let's drop down to 3, and in here is what's known as the library, where people usually are playing games, card games or board games or whatnot. Not a lot of reading going on, but it is the 21st century, so we have to deal with that. And then finally dropping down to the front end of level 3. We've got your customer service over there. Past the forward lift well, and in there is the Black Pearl restaurant we saw earlier. We're in the glass fronted lifts going all the way up to level 9, where I'll go and do some light editing, which is always a hoot. Probably one of my favourite parts of making videos. This is our spot for editing with a reasonable view.